Two-time state champion, my bad. And not only that, a state championship in Legion baseball with St. George, somehow he ended up there, and a former draft pick of the Boston Red Sox.
I'm excited to be here. State tournament is always a great time. I watched these two teams play the other day, and man, both of them can swing it, so I'm excited. That's what I like to watch, is a lot of offense.
And in this semifinal game, we got Skyridge and Jordan, and you mentioned the two teams in offense, and one in particular, and that is the Jordan Beat Diggers. They absolutely took one of the better pitchers in 5A to the woodshed, that being Derek Aquino of Timpanogos, and they roughed him up, had over 15 hits in that ball game, and Alex, that's a big key to these guys.
Yeah, I mean, Derek obviously didn't have his sharpest stuff, and Jordan took advantage of it. They made him pitch, they made him throw strikes, and he just couldn't find it, and when he did throw strikes, they jumped all over it.
Yeah, 14 hits. 14 hits and 11 runs on Timpanogos. The winner of this game will go on to this, will be in the championship game on Friday right here at Brant Brown Ballpark. The team that drops this game, well, they'll play right after against Olympus, who has made a run since dropping their first round game in the state tournament all the way to the semifinal. And neither coach is prepared for that. Talking with Jordan, they told me, hey, we only brought one uniform today. He said, so if Olympus wants to show up in their blacks and whites or blacks and grays, I guess we're going to match up on them. So neither coach is thinking about the next game. Coach Roberts didn't even know when the state championship was.
No, he told us, yeah, when is the state championship? And you had to remind him, and you can tell that they need to win this game first. And the hardest thing to do is to lose this first game and then have to get back out there and try to win another one.
Skyridge coming off an impressive win against Cottonwood. Cottonwood lost to Olympus last night. And it was a terrific night from Carter Smith, who went complete game shutout, only giving up 4 hits to the high-powered Cottonwood Colts. And coming to the rubber today for Skyridge is, pardon me, lost the name real quick, Dax Phillips. Dax has been the best pitcher, according to Coach Roberts. Said, hey, this is the best pitcher we've had in the 2 years of this program.
Well, and you're going to see two different types of pitching, right? So the other night with Carter Smith, you saw a really hard fastball, 90-92, with a really, really good curveball. Today, Dax, he's a little bit of a thumber. He's going to be in the mid-80s, low 80s, but he's going to throw a lot of strikes with a lot of different pitches.
And the big key for Carter Smith, and really for any pitcher, but especially against this lineup, is to get ahead and stay ahead. If he's falling behind 2-0 all day long, it could be a very short day for Dax.
You got to pitch ahead, especially against Jordan. A lot of seniors on this team, a lot of big guys that can swing it. You got to pitch ahead and pitch to contact. Let them swing. They want to swing. Keep the ball down in the zone, and hopefully we can get a lot of ground balls.
We'll go through the lineups for both these teams defensively for the Skyridge Falcons. On the dish is going to be number 24, Kai Roberts. As you mentioned earlier, pitching Dax Phillips. In the infield, Jace Shepard at first, Jackson Peck at second, Brody College at short, Connor Robley at third, and around the outfield it is Nate Upham, Jackson Kohler, and Carter Smith left to right. Leading off for the Jordan Beat Diggers is number 32, Jacob Shaver, the shortstop. Fans a little slow to get here. There's a graduation going on. I think the crowds will pick up as they were able to come all the way across all that big parking we have at UVU that's being taken up by a graduation. So hopefully this park will start to fill in. Shaver steps in, was 2 for 2 on Monday with an RBI and 3 runs scored. And the first pitch is wide, and it's 1-0.
So you see it, you can hear the teams, they're all hooping and hollering, getting really excited. Something Coach Roberts talked about is the team that can settle down the fastest is going to have the best advantage here.
Fastball finds the outside corner, and we're even up at 1-1. Breaking ball inside, called strike 2. That was a late bite on that one.
And you can see early, right? A lot of strikes, a lot of mixed pitches already. Sometimes pitchers like to go through the first part of the lineup and only use 1 or 2 pitches, but he's using all of them.
The 1-2, grounder to short, handled easily, crossed the infield for the first out of the inning. Brody College with the putout, and Shaver retired for the first out. You got to do that. You got to pitch the ground ball. You talk about pitching to contact.
Exactly.
You know he's not going to overpower him.
Exactly. And as a Jordan hitter, you got to know that as well. He's going to throw a lot of strikes. You can't just walk up there and say, "Hey, I'm going to hit a fastball. I'm going to wait for the fastball," because it might never come, right? he's going to throw all of them for strikes.
And that brings up Hunter Swap. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. On Monday, Swap went 2 for 5 with a single and a 3-run homer. And that's what really put Jordan ahead for good in that ball game against Timpanogos. The 0-1 misses, and we're even at 1-1. The 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. And you tell me, Alex, I let 2-1s one of my favorite counts because you can probably sit back on a fastball now.
Yeah, this is great. Great time to hit, great time to swing. As a hitter, you just got to see something up in the zone that you can swing at.
The 2-1 curve misses inside. And now the count 3-1. And we'll see. I believe Hunter Swap might have a green light here.
I mean, you get 2 curveballs back-to-back, both for balls. If this isn't a fastball, I'm sitting on it and waiting for the 3-2 fastball because it's going to come.
The 3-1 in there for a called strike 2, and Hunter didn't agree.
Tough pitch.
Full count to Hunter Swap.
See, I wouldn't mind here seeing another curveball. That's what I would guess if I'm hitting. He's thrown so many in this at bat already.
The payoff, curveball, fought off. Alex Rodriguez hanging out in the box, the booth with us today.
You know, the cool thing about this is you see Kai Roberts. He's not looking into the dugout, so a coach is not giving him or relaying any signs. So sometimes, I mean, it's human nature that we get into tendencies and things just happen over and over again.
We'll do the payoff again. Ground ball to the right side. Handled cleanly and in time. I love how Jordan hustles up the line, but Jackson Peck able to retire Swap for the second out. And that's to bring up the third baseman, Noah Hennings, as the Beat Diggers trying to stave off going in order in the top half of the inning. Fastball misses outside. These two teams met at the beginning of the year. Both coaches said we're not the same teams. That's fairly obvious. It was a 4-1 game in favor of Skyridge. Dax Phillips pitched that game. He was lifted with Skyridge up 4-1, and the Falcons ended up dropping that game 6-4.
Yeah, there was a couple errors, a couple misplaced balls in the outfield, and, you know, momentum swings really, really fast after a couple errors.
And that curveball finds his zone. We're even at 2-2. And that ball back to the screen. Pardon me, counts 1-2. On Monday, Noah went 2 for 5. 2 singles, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. The 1-2 hit well into right center field, and that's going to fall in. He's rounding first, heading to second, and that's a stand-up 2-out double for Noah Hennings.
And again, he goes back to the curveball, but the difference between this one and the previous batter is he leaves this one up. My favorite pitch to hit, and a lot of hitters, is a hanging changeup, hanging curveball, something that's slower, that's up in the zone. It's almost just sitting there on a tee ready for you to hit.
And the problem with that 2-out double is you bring up the best stick in the Jordan order, at least one with the most power. That is Connor Hughes, the right fielder. Connor was 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored on Monday. And Dax misses outside, ball 1.
You know, it's pretty impressive, Dusty. You've said it, the first 4 batters, they were 2 for 4, 3 for 4, 2 for 4. I mean, so many hits up and down this lineup. And Timpanogos has great pitching just like Skyridge does. And so you just got to expect that they're going to hit the ball.
The 1-0 misses outside as well. And now Connor Hughes is going to be loading up that back leg, up 2 balls and no strikes. And the impressive thing, Alex, was the 7 of the 11 runs scored on Monday for Jordan came in the first 4 hitters.
Yeah, the first 4 guys are for sure, the part of the order you got to look after. And now we're 3-0 here. There's no point of giving this guy anything to hit. Just let him go to first base and worry about the next guy.
Base open, going to give you an out at any bag. No need to, as you mentioned, you don't need to pipe shot this thing. The 3-0 for Phillips. Called strike, so now sitting 3-1. You giving him the green light?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, he's your 4 guy. You have a lot of trust in him. You're going to trust that he's going to swing at a good pitch. The problem is, most of the time when we get 3-1, especially coming back from 3-0, we get really aggressive and excited because we just watched 3 pitches. They weren't very good, and you just want to hit, right? You want to get that runner in. You want to help your team out, and so some people get really, really anxious, and they overswing and take too much. He just needs to stay calm. If the pitcher throws one down in the zone for a strike, just let that one have it. Bring the ball up, make it be elevated, and then just trust yourself you can put a good swing on it.
Hughes will step back in, 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner in scoring position here for the Beat Diggers. That breaking ball finds the zone. That's a big-time pitch.
Well, and you see the catcher, Kai Roberts. He's setting up on the outside, and he's done this 4 or 5 times this inning already, and he throws that backdoor curveball. I don't think he's doing it intentionally based on where the catcher's setting up, but it's really effective. The hitters haven't swung at it yet.
And Hughes, once again, trying to break up Phillips. Love the idea. If you can break up the pitcher, get him out of his rhythm. That's twice now.
Absolutely.
Full count, 2 outs, runner on second. Top of the first inning of the 5A semifinals. And Hughes hits this one hard to center field. There's that much on it. Kohler's under it. And that'll do it for the top half of the first inning. 1 hit, 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the first of the 5A semifinals. Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning of the 5A semifinals. Dusty Litster and Alex Wolf with you here at Brent Brown Ballpark. The winner moves on to the 5A championship game on Friday. The loser will play right after this game against the red-hot, 1-loss Olympus Titans, who've only lost 3 games on the year, and one of them has to be in the first round of the state tournament.
That is the worst feeling in the world to lose that first round. The first game in the first round, but credit to them battling all the way back and making it this far.
Leading off for Skyridge is the center fielder Jackson Kohler. He takes the first offering from Drew Jones and grounds out to second base, 1 away. You tell me, Alex. My feeling is usually your leadoff guy. Give me the 3 pitches at least so we can see something that Drew Jones has got.
It's so hard because you want him to be aggressive, and you know, when that leadoff hitter gets a hit on that first one, it just sparks a lot of momentum. But when you get me a little rollover ground ball to second base, you're right. It's almost you failed to do your job. And now I guarantee this is going to be a take on the second one, and he's got to work the count even more for the rest of the hitters.
Brody College, probably the best hitter in this Skyridge lineup, at least the most clutch. Watches that first one wide of the plate. The 1-0 now goes 2-0. College, of course, the highlight of the year for Skyridge, the walk-off grand slam to win the series and essentially the region championship over Timpanogos. Down 4-1 in the 7th inning. Pardon me, 5-1 in the 7th inning, that walk-off grand slam from Brody. Shaft shot easily handled at third base, and now 2 away.
See, and again, you know, leadoff hitter swings at the first pitch. Second hitter takes the first 2 pitches. I'd probably take another pitch just to make him work just a little bit. You know that if you're going to hit 2-0, you can hit 2-1, right? So make the pitcher throw a little bit. He gets a little excited and jams himself on a pitch that's hittable, just because he's just a little anxious and excited to swing the bat.
That brings up the left fielder, Nate Upham. And that breaking ball is in for called strike 1. And we'll beat this like a dead horse. Last time Nate Upham was in a semifinal, it was in the fall in football, and he had the game-winning catch and the come from behind win for Skyridge over Corner Canyon. As he watches that breaking ball wide of the plate. Also could be the number 2 pitcher today. The 1-1 from Jones. Fastball's off. 2 balls and a strike, and Upham now up in the count.
See, and again, big guy. He's just got to stay calm, shorten his stride up, and just put a good swing on the ball to try to extend this inning a little bit so it's not so fast.
The 2-1 wide of the plate as well, 3-1. The Falcons looking to extend this inning with 2 outs. The 3-1 from Jones. This one lifted into right field. Hughes came underneath the ball. That's all the way to the wall. Upham's going to round second, heading to third. It's a good arm from Hughes, but Shaver will hold on to it, and that is a stand-up 2-out triple from Nate Upham.
I mean, not a very good route by the right fielder. Ball hung up in the air for a long time, and off the bat, I thought it should have been caught. And you could see him come in a little bit towards center field, and then he had to, you know, make a little U-turn and head out towards the alley. This is a tough place to play the outfield, though. You know, it's kind of a quirky field and really short down the lines, and it gets deep really, really fast towards the alleys and center field.
And that brings up Clayton Driggs, the designated hitter. That breaking ball comes back into the zone for a called strike 1. Driggs had a tough day at the plate on Monday, but it can come through big here with a RBI as the count now even at 1. Clayton, middle linebacker on the football team, lost in the state championship game to Lehigh. And the 1-1 from Jones lifted into right field. Hughes not misjudging this one, and the threat is extinguished. We head to the top of the 2nd inning. Jordan and Skyridge 0-0. Top of the 2nd inning, Skyridge and Jordan tied at 0. Dusty Litster and Alex Wolf with you here at Brent Brown Ballpark as Kyson Stein steps in for Jordan, fouls that one off. As both teams had runners in scoring position in the 1st inning, couldn't push anybody across. The 0-1 back through the box. College can't get to it. And that is a leadoff single for Kyson Stein.
Good swing there to keep your hands inside the baseball. That was a good pitch on the inner half, and he fought right through it and got enough to, you know, squeak it out through the middle of the field. It'll be interesting to see now what Jordan does, if they're going to take the approach like, hey, this is going to be a close ball game, or, you know, not one run is going to define this game, so let's, you know, hit and run or you know, do something like that versus, you know, laying down a sacrifice.
talking with the coaching staff, they say we're going to be aggressive. They want to be smart, but they want to be aggressive. And they were, and they tried to do some directional push bunts and everything else like that. As he's going to square around right at the beginning, and that's laid down nicely by Gage Carson, advances the runner to second base. So runner in scoring position and one out. The sacrifice bunt from Gage Carson, one away.
Great bunt. You know, runner on first base, your job is not only to lay the bunt down, but you want to push it towards the right side of the field, right? Third baseman has no responsibility, so he's going to be crashing. First baseman's got to hold him on, and so you want to make sure that you get that bunt down the right side. It was perfect execution.
And Monday they didn't bunt very well. And guys were trying to bunt for hits. They weren't just trying to kill it. In fact, I had a long conversation with the coach about it. It's like, you know, you tell me, I always just try to kill the ball around the crown. I don't care what direction it is.
Yeah.
So one out, and that brings up the pitcher, Drew Jones, who can help himself out with the runner in scoring position here. Looks at ball one.
I always loved in high school when I was pitching, when I got to hit, right? Because you really feel like, man, I can change this by myself. Like, I can control this game by myself.
The 1-0 finds the zone, and we're even at a ball and a strike. Phillips' breaking ball has been working really well for him today.
Yeah, he's hanging on that right side of the plate. He really favors that side, and he throws it for a strike. That's the great thing about it, is he's been throwing it for a strike all day.
The 1-1 breaking ball again, swung through, strike two. As a catcher, up 1-2, you go in deuce, or are you going to come up high inside? Now you've thrown a couple of breaking balls.
Well, after those first two breaking balls that he swung right over the top, I probably wouldn't mess around with a fastball and just go to another one down and away and just make him swing at it again. There's no point of, you know, trying to help him out by giving him the fastball. He's obviously not seeing the curveball very well. Let's go to it again and see what happens. You know, and then after that, then you might need to change some eye levels or mix something up, because, I mean, with him, he can go 3-2 curveball. So you could go curveball here, fastball again. If you miss there again, you still have fastball, curveball, a lot of options.
Roberts set out on the outside, and he bounces the breaking ball. Runner goes, but there's no play at third. So now Kyson Stein advances to third base. And now just a gem of an opportunity, some to the right side, anywhere. And Jordan's going to take the lead.
You see here, Skyridge is bringing in the right side of the infield. So, you know, that tells me he's going to get a fastball or a curveball in the outer half to try to force him to hit it that way.
And he swings through the 2-2 curve. And Drew Jones down on strikes, 2 outs. He messed with the outside curveball.
I mean, that was just right over the plate. But like I mentioned, though, I mean, he's obviously not seeing the curveball that well in that at-bat, so just keep going to it until he proves otherwise that he can hit it.
And that brings up the left fielder, Gage Edwards, who pitched a masterful game on Monday, going all the way. And that curveball again on the inner half finds the zone, strike one. Pardon me, he's pitched 6 innings, only surrendered 8 hits, 5 runs, had 6 Ks. The 1-1. And Edwards fouls this one back to the screen. He'll be heading to Grand Junction to go play at Colorado Mesa.
Is that where they hold the Junior College World Series?
Yeah.
That field?
Yeah.
So he's going to a great ballpark.
Mesa State for those of us who are old enough. And he plunks him. Surprising, Phillips has been dialed in, and 2 opportunities here to get out of the inning, 1-2 counts, and he now essentially a walk with the hit batsman, so runners on the corners.
Well, and now with 2 outs, first and third, you know, sometimes teams like to get a little tricky and try to do things, whether it's delayed steal or leave early, or, you know, where they take off and they stop halfway, just to try to, you know, trick the catcher or the middle infielders to try to do something they shouldn't do. You know, as a catcher here, you got to have the ability to look at the third baseman, the runner on third base, and still throw a guy out at second base.
And the first offering to Noah Bachman swung through, strike one. Interesting to see that too, because obviously your call is me all the way through. You're going to be cut off by the shortstop to the pitcher to third base. Baseman comes from the dugout. The 0-1. Back to the screen, now up. No balls and 2 strikes.
See, and now's the time where, you know, Jordan is probably going to look to do something, right? Okay, down 0-2, 2 outs. He hasn't looked very good on the first 2 pitches, the hitter, and now it's like, okay, we need to try to do something to gain a little momentum here. So I'd look for something right here, either a straight steal, a leave early, or something. You know, and Kai Roberts, the catcher, just needs to realize that the hitter's down 0-2. He still has to put the ball in play to get the guy in.
0-2 to Bachman. Back to the screen, and we'll do it again. Bachman in the 9 holes, the top of the order coming up with Jacob Shaver standing on the circle. And if you're Skyridge, you do not want to bridge the top of the order. You'd like to stay away from it. Let's put it that way. The 0-2 from Phillips. Breaking ball, called strike 3. Froze him. Got out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Still 0-0. Bottom of the 2nd inning of the 5A semifinals, and both teams now, I mean, that's 2 runners left in scoring position for Jordan. We got 1 left from Skyridge in the top of the inning, and right now, Alex, it's just who's going to bust through, because both pitchers, well, we'll get the 2nd inning here for Jones, but Drew Phillips has got himself a little bit of trouble, but able to nibble himself out.
2-out RBIs are a killer on both sides. If you're pitching and you give up a 2-out RBI, or if you're hitting, I mean, the momentum just changes the game completely, and we just haven't executed yet in these first couple innings.
The 1-0 hit softly in the right field. The Hughes there, and has the first out of the inning. So a quick out there for Jones. Both pitchers very similar. You can see it both, you know, kind of junk pitchers. Going to keep you off speed, keep you off balance that way. And right now, neither team one way through the order. You have to be able to quite get their balance to it.
You know, for me, when I played, I would rather have a guy that threw the ball 95 miles an hour and I knew the fastball was coming versus someone that threw a little bit slower, but he threw everything, right? You got to keep guessing. You can't just guess, okay, I think he's going to go with a curveball because he has a fastball or a changeup that he's going to throw for a strike.
And the 82-mile-an-hour fastball looks a little bit faster.
Exactly, right?
Here's the 0-1 from Jones. Fastball outside. And we're even at a ball and a strike. Jay Shepard had a pretty good day on Mondays. He looks at strike 2. Sacrifice RBI. He was 0 for 1 with an RBI. One ball and 2 strikes. And a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. 2 away. So 2 outs, and that brings up the catcher, son of the head coach, Kai Roberts. Young sophomore looks at ball 1.
I always thought that would be really hard if your dad was the head coach, you know, because you sometimes have the sense of entitlement or, you know, is he favoring him? But Kai can play, and Kai grew up around the game. He was at the field at BYU every single day we were there. I played for Coach Roberts at BYU, and so he knows how to play the game, and he can do it effectively, and so that's why he's in the lineup.
And that 2-0 pitch lifted well into right center field. Hughes going back. It's all the way to the wall as Roberts will be in with a stand-up 2-out double, and the inning extended into that funky corner. It's short right field and got all the way to right center.
There was so many times when I played on this field where balls just, it seems like they get lost in the right center field and left center field towards those corners. And it's almost like, as an outfielder, it's really hard to judge because you are so close to the fence as a right fielder, because I think it's only 315 down the right field line, or 312, something like that. So your natural position, you're only a couple steps off the warning track, and then all of a sudden it gets 380, 390 really, really quick, and it's just hard to judge.
Speed up runner is Mitchell Sampson coming on for Roberts. And that pitch finds the outside corner on Carter Smith, the right fielder, who threw the complete game shutout against Cottonwood on Monday night.
Well, and we're here again, Dusty. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Who's going to be the team to break through first?
And the 0-1 finds the corner, make it 0-2. A looping curveball. Carter even gave a second thought on it. The 0-2 wide of the plate. Messing with the speed up just a little bit there. One ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs with the runner on second. Jones misses wide of the plate again. Ball 2, evened up.
Did not miss by much. Really good pitch and really good job laying off of it.
So now Deuce is wild. Jones looks at called strike 3, the corner. He got the favored call, and now we're through 2 innings, still 0-0. Welcome back, top of the 3rd inning, top of the order for the Jordan Beat Diggers as Jacob Shaver will step in against Dax Phillips for the 2nd time today. Ground out to short in the 1st inning. And he looks at strike 1 as Phillips has peppered the zone at the top of the, I mean, he's gotten ahead a lot here, Alex.
Yeah. And again, it just opens up everything else. A guy that throws a lot of things for strikes, now he has everything open.
That 0-1 just able to fight that one off into the stands.
You know, and it's crazy, like you were talking about. You know, that pitch right there, ball on the inside part of the plate, he doesn't throw very hard, but because of all the effectiveness of the other pitches, the hitter, he jams himself because he's just guessing.
Breaking ball misses up. The 1-2 from Phillips. Breaking ball hit well by Shaver, but right at Nate Upham. 1 away. As Shaver gets a nice little something from the small student section from Skyridge. That's pretty good. Now that people are starting to be able to make it into the ballpark.
Yeah, it's starting to fill up. I mean, great day for baseball. Not very hot, wind's not blowing very much, sun's out. I mean, a perfect day for a game.
And that brings up Hunter Swap. Hunter grounded out to the second baseman in his first appearance, and that ball misses inside. Showed bunt, and that one goes all the way to the screen. So now up 2-0. Alex, you got a guy like Phillips who seems like he's just into a good rhythm. Everything's kind of working. What's your kind of thoughts as a hitter of trying to break him up, or even as a coach of what you're talking to guys about?
Well, I really like what he just did right there, the little fake bunt. He had no intention of actually, laying down a bunt. It was just to give a different view to the pitcher, just to mix things up a little bit to hopefully get ahead of the count like he did.
2-0 fastball hit well into center field, and I will fall in.
And there you go, right? Now he's got to go to a fastball. He doesn't want to put guys on, especially with the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. So it was a great at bat there, being patient, messing with him a little bit, and then you hammer a fastball right up the middle.
Who asked Coach Roberts said on Monday, they really worked Eric Aquino really, really well, and they weren't afraid being down 2-2, or any 2-strike count. And how do you handle it? He said, well, we're going to try to keep them off balance. And they've done that thus far. And you're going to give up a few. So the third hit of the day for Jordan, bringing up Noah Hennings. And that's in there for a called strike.
And here, last couple innings, we've had runners in scoring position with 2 outs. I think Jordan's got to do something to get that runner into second base before we get the 2 outs again. Give them 2 opportunities to get him to score.
The 0-1, breaking ball, check swing, and luckily for Noah, went foul. And you talk about just guessing there, Alex. I mean, get a guy on that one.
Yeah, I mean, 0-1, you still got a lot of bat left, and he just check swings, And I did it all the time as well. You get fooled, and it's just really frustrating on guys that can throw a lot of pitches for strikes.
The 0-2 crowding the plate, as that's in there for a ball. Bringing up a little bit of controversy on Monday. Timpanogos fans were going a little nuts about him, and it was particularly on Hennings. And I had said on the broadcast, that front line is there, but isn't a rule anymore. It's the plate.
Yeah, that line that's right there. I mean, I've seen high school coaches even, because they chalk the field before the game, but they don't even put the line.
I never
there
put
anymore,
it on.
Right?
Yeah.
So you got to have the front, you got to have the back, but they're not even putting it on most of the time right next to the plate.
Breaking ball, fought to the left side. College there goes the short way, not in time, and everybody's safe. So Hennings aboard on the fielder's choice. I don't think really there's a play anywhere where that ball was hit.
Yeah, tough play. Only had 1 shot, was at second base. But now we're talking. Now we got a runner in scoring position with only 1 out. It's a great time. You got your number 4 hitter up. Now we're going to see what kind of pitcher we have on the mound to work out of this jam.
Got out of the first and third situation last inning. Got out with the runner at second base, but both of those were with 2 outs. Double play still in order with runners on first and second. And now Connor Hughes, the right fielder, stepping in. Fastball. Misses outside.
I loved as a catcher when, you stick a pitch, even if it's a ball, but you stick a pitch and the crowd gets all excited like, oh, that should have been a strike. They're down the third base line. How are they going to see if that's a ball or a strike? And the umpires, though, especially in high school, they get a little tense, and maybe next time he's going to give me that pitch. But, I've also had umpires say, hey, don't do that to me. don't hold that ball. You know it's not a strike. I know it's not a strike. Don't do that to me.
Quickly in the box and a quick pitch there, and I think, turn around. I think Hughes just said something to the umpire. He quick pitched him. He got in the box, and he was ready to rock and roll. Love the gamesmanship there from Phillips. So Hughes held him up a little bit. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hughes. And he tried to turn on that one, and now it's down to ball and 2 strikes. See what Connor can do. He's going to have to shorten this one up now. Down 1-2. Anything through the infield, it's going to score. Well, could score right up the tunnel line. He's going to have to hold up a little bit. Lifts this one into right field. It's short down the corner. Smith going back, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. A 3-run home run for Connor Hughes.
You see Connor there staring down the pitcher a little bit. So if you saw it on TV, Kai Roberts, he flashed his sign before the guy even came set. They were getting ready to pitch, right? So they tried to quick pitch him again, and he just didn't happen to do it. He's running around the bases, and he's staring at the pitcher the whole time. And then, as a good catcher would do, Kai Roberts says something to him as he's crossing home plate.
And Coach Roberts out pretty incensed because Hughes looked back toward the infield as he rounded first base as well.
Yeah, Hughes was staring at the pitcher the entire time, you know. Like, hey, I know you were quick pitching me, but I beat you to it this time, right? Well, you know, give the pitcher a look, but when you're doing it around the whole entire infield, it's just not called for, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you got to give credit to Kai Roberts for saying something. You know, should he have said something? Probably not. He should have kept his head a little bit and just gone out to the mound, calmed his pitcher down and say, hey, don't worry about it. It's 3 runs. It's 1 swing. We'll get that back. But now, you know, tensions are running a little bit high, and this is where baseball gets really, really fun.
Well, and what we saw on Monday, too, is Jordan, this is a very confident bunch. These are guys that have made some good runs in the state tournaments in their time here with the Beat Diggers and Coach Fife, and feeling really good about themselves. They're swinging good bats. You've held them down. You kept them quiet because of it, and now you're seeing a little bit of that swag come out off that 3-run dinger. All of a sudden, now you can feel that confidence maybe getting up and down the lineup a bit.
Well, and again, I mean, that ball was on the inside part of the plate. He hit it really, really well, but here at UVU, if you hit one down to right field, I mean, it's only 315 feet. You know, you don't have to hit it that far to hit a home run. So you got to take that into consideration as well. And you know, and Skyridge will get the same benefit on their side as well. Ball down the right field line, ball down the left field line, it can get out in a hurry. You know, I took a group of guys in my office to a BYU the other day, and we were trying to hit home runs on the BYU field. And it's not as easy as it looks, though. You know what I mean? These guys are, you know, strong, older men, you know, and they couldn't get one out. And you know, so you got to give him props still that he hit a home run, but at the same time, it's just not that far of a fence.
And that's in for a called strike 1 as Stein steps in. The count now even at 1-1 as the decibel level picking up here at the ballpark as both fan bases getting into it after that. And that one misses outside, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. And right now, if you're Skyridge, you got to stay with it. If it's not your MO to be all hot and bothered, it's not going to work out very well for you, because that is the MO of Jordan. You can tell. It's just instinctual to them. 3 balls and a strike. And now that is a 5-pitch walk. And so runner aboard, but Kyson Stein drawing a walk after the home run. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Gage Carson. And that one finds the outer part of the plate, called strike 1. And now it's really we're going to learn a little bit about Phillips. He's rattled a little bit, getting emotional. Can he just settle in and get back to doing what he was doing? Yeah, you can see him in between pitches. He's taking really deep breaths. You know, he's tired a little bit. He's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. You know, the emotions are running high. This is where you really got to settle down, get back to your game plan before, get the curveball over for strikes, keep the fastball down in the zone, and get a ground ball and get it out of the inning. And that pitch misses inside, and it's 2-1. You know, you and I have talked. He's thrown a lot of backdoor curveballs, but on that pitch right there, it just almost looked like he's tired, right? And he's not finishing his pitch out in front as he should, and he's just leaving it hanging out there, and it's just not getting across, and it's not as sharp. With a 1-1, wide of the plate, ball 2. I talked to Coach Fife before the game. Said, you know, hey, on Monday you worked Equino pretty well, and he goes, look, with the pitch count stuff now, he's like, we really try to get these guys in. He said we had Equino at 60 pitches in the 3rd inning. Yeah. The 2-1 runner goes, hit and run on, and Roberts mishandles the exchange and easily gives up second base.
You know, on the pitch count thing, it's so good for the players, right? I remember playing in the state tournament, there was no pitch count. And I threw 3 games in the state tournament within 2 weeks, you know, and I remember after the state tournament, I started the state tournament, the state championship game, and I only lasted a couple innings. I was so tired. My arm was hanging, you know, and I was pumping myself with as much ibuprofen as I could, but it just wasn't helping. So I'm happy that they have a pitch count. I'm happy that, you know, you're saving kids' arms because in reality, I mean, this is, you know, that's their body, right? You don't want to just ruin it for just this 2 weeks' time.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball lifted into center field, and Kohler will range over. Runner will hold at second base. And to your point, Alex, as a coach, too, it's a lot easier just to manage pitches than it is to think, okay, how many innings he thrown? How many appearances does he have? If I've got him at 5, he can go 14 in a week. So, you know, and he only gets 3 appearances in 1 week's span. There was a lot of variables we used to work with back in the day.
And as a coach, right, you go up to a kid. Have you ever heard a high school kid, if you say, hey, can you throw tomorrow? Do they ever say no? No, they want to play. They want to throw, and they're going to, you know, they don't really know their bodies yet. And so as a coach, it's great that they can manage that a little bit more.
2 outs, runner on second, another pass ball. And Stein walks over to third base, and Roberts threw that down there, ill-advised, no doubt. And luckily for him, it was handled cleanly. Robley able to dig that one out, or could have had a run coming across the plate.
So Roberts was hoping that the guy on third base was just going to take a couple steps off third base as he was rounding it, just nonchalant and, you know, get a tag there. But obviously not the right time and place. Down 3, 2 outs. You can't give up another run, an easy run like that.
Drew Jones looking to extend the pad for him, and that ball got him. So the second hit by pitch. And it's actually, oh, pardon me, it was Drew Jones gets that one. It was now the man coming to the plate, Gage Edwards, that was hit back in the second inning. That ball just grazed him if it got him at all. So now runners on the corners.
Well, we talked to Coach Roberts before the game that he's going to ride his pitcher out. Like, this is his game. And, I mean, there's no one in the bullpen, not even thinking about warming up. And so, you know, it's a tough situation, you know, with the pitch counts that we talked about. At this point, he's getting really tired. This is a really long inning. It's, you know, it's really hard. You probably only give him 1 or 2 more batters, maybe 1 more run before, man, we got to make a change here before this gets out of hand.
So Gage Edwards steps in, the left fielder today, as Phillips misses wide. And he's fallen behind in this inning. He got ahead of the first man, and since then, Alex only gotten ahead 2 other times in this inning. We're now in the 8th spot of the lineup, as that one misses, and Robert's going to go out and try to calm Dax down a little bit here.
Well, and it's a smart move in the sense just to give him another breather, right? Sometimes you go out there and you don't really have a lot to say, right? What are you going to go tell the pitcher? Hey, throw strikes. Well, yeah, I'm trying to throw strikes. I get that, you know what I mean? But a lot of times it's just, hey, take a deep breath. Let's chill for a second. Wait till the umpire comes, break this up. Then let's go back to work.
Down 2 balls and no strikes. Phillips finds the outer part of the plate. Strike 1. Let's see if he can climb back in this one. Edwards can extend this lead and really open things up for Jordan. This feels a lot like that game on Monday. And Skyridge can't get out of this inning. It could snowball a little bit for them. The 2-1 check swing got him. Even at 2-2.
You know, if Phillips can get out of this inning with only giving up the 3-run home run, you got to take a little positive out of that.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on. Runner goes. Edwards down the line and foul. That one makes the arm hair stand up a little bit. Again, for Edwards, just keep working him. This has been a long inning. Worked a lot of pitches in this inning, more of the Jordan team that's been all year long, especially we saw Monday. Again, the 2-2, and again, fouled away. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. First 2 innings is that backdoor curve you talked about, Alex, that worked him well. Again, goes to it, and Edwards puts this one in the left center. And that'll bring home Stein, runner from first to third. And back to runners on the corners, and it's a 4-0 Beat Digger lead.
Great at bat by Edwards. I mean, you work it to an 8-pitch at bat. You're fouling off really good quality pitches that could be called for strike 3. Foul it off, and then you hit a mistake. I mean, just a great piece of hitting. Get the RBI, aggressiveness on the base pass to move him from first to third again, and you're right back in the same situation.
And now we got a balk. So send a runner to second and bring home the 5th run of the inning. And I think Coach Roberts going to come out and make a change right now. They might be seeing Nate Upham come in from left field.
Well, I think he's talking to him as well, like what was that? And we know what it is. He's trying to quick pitch, and so he's not coming set. He's rushing things, and the umpire finally called it. You know what? I hated when umpires would give warnings on balks, and they do it a lot in high school, right?
Yeah.
Well, why are you giving a warning? It's like in basketball, like you're going to warn someone, hey, don't do that again, or I'm going to call a foul.
Yeah,
no, is it a foul? And then call it a foul. Is it a balk? Yeah, you don't get a warning. It's just that's a balk. Run in and let's move on. But a lot of times you get some warnings in there, and I just didn't understand the warning part of that.
It's zero consequence society.
Yeah.
So after the balk, runner at second base, and now Jordan, we talked about earlier, who's going to cash in? Well, Beat Diggers have done so. 5 runs in the inning. And Gage Edwards standing at second base. And that brings up Noah Bachman, the catcher, the 0-1. Foul to the screen, now 0-2. And what also stings for Coach Roberts is it's not only is that the run scores on a balk, it was also on a hit batsman. The 0-2 misses up and in. Well, Jordan fans getting up a little hot and bothered on the up and in pitch.
It's like, come on. He's already given up 5 runs. You think he's trying to hit another guy? Like, sometimes fans just don't really get it.
The 1-2 lifted out of play, and we'll do it again.
Man, you look at the lead on second base. It might be a good time to run a little pick play if they have one in there. I mean, it is wide open. He is being very, very aggressive. You know, the good thing is any sort of hit, he's going to score, but.
Do it again, 1-2, and this one hit the center field, and Kohler will range over, and what a top of the 3rd inning it was for Jordan. A 3-run bomb for Hughes, and the plate 2 more. 5-0 Beat Diggers in the 5A semifinals on Live.KSL and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the third inning, and Skyridge now clinging, trying to stay away from that one-loss bracket, and they've got to respond down 5-0, a 5-run top of the third from Jordan. Dusty Litster, Alex Wolf with you, and stepping in is Connor Robley, the third baseman. And that is in for a call strike one from Drew Jones, but now the approach for Skyridge. Alex, you got to get after it, but also you can't press right now down 5 runs.
You gotta fight and find a way to score 1 run. You just gotta be able to tell yourself as a team, okay, we can do this. We can hit this pitcher, we can get to him, but someone's gotta step up and get off, that 0.
That finds the outer part of the plate, strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes. Jones goes to the right side, goes with it, does Robley, and there's a single. Nearly took a tumble at first base, but a leadoff single for Connor Robley as he gets us to the top of the order, and that brings up Jackson Kohler. Great way to start. Now you can start getting a little smart over there for Coach Roberts.
Yeah, and you probably won't see him be too aggressive. You don't want to make outs on the base pass when you're down 5 runs. But at the same time, you got to look at it as, well, we got to get some runs, right? So maybe we should start moving the baseball a little bit, or moving our runners a little bit more and being a little bit more aggressive.
Hennings coming up on the grass at third base. That ball misses outside. Not only that, got to get back in. Just was something that Coach Fife told me as they throw over. Is he said, look, I tell our guys to take pitches but be aggressive. Because I know that's a little counterintuitive. He's like, but tell him you got to get into a zone, get into a count, and then be aggressive anywhere you are in there. The 1-0 hit to second. Taylor made double play. 4, 6, and 3. Beautiful turn on the ground ball from Kohler. He raced the leadoff single, 2 away.
Again, that's the second at bat in a row that he rolled over on a curveball to second, or a pitch to second base, and that's a big play for Jordan. Eliminate that momentum completely of that leadoff runner.
And that is a ball. I'd say he held it. Brody College stepping in. Only saw 3 pitches in the first inning. And swings through the second. Evens the count at 1-1.
A little aggressive. A little out of ordinary there. But the cool thing about this ballpark as well, since it does have such short porches, is that the game can change really, really fast. I remember hitting a home run here. I thought it was a pop-up, and it just squeezed over the 305 down the left field line. I was mad at myself, throwing my bat down, and then all of a sudden, it just squeezed over the fence. And so the game can change really, really quick at this ballpark.
The 2-1 fastball down the right field line and tails foul. So College will come back. The count now even at 2-2. College is a guy that can turn one around in just one swing. Mentioned earlier, one of the better bats, if not the best bat in the lineup for Coach Roberts. Steps back in, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And the hold up there. They say no the second time. So the count now full.
Love the catcher trying to run off the field like, I'm going to try to get this call, you know what I mean?
And now the payoff pitch. Just stays alive. And we'll do it again. You were one of those guys, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. I tried to bait the umpires as much as I could, right?
Again, full count. Breaking ball down the left field line, and we'll get to the 7th pitch of this at bat. So I mentioned the winner of this game plays Friday in the championship. The loser will play right after against Olympus Titans. You might be seeing Spencer Jones throw. And that pitch is up and draws a walk. Very good at bat there for College.
Yeah, fought off a couple really good pitches and gives himself another chance. I mean, any time that you can get number 21 to the plate, you know, with his power, I mean, he's a big kid. I mean, anything can happen. You know what I mean? You hit a ball in the gap, you hit a home run, a 2-run home run, and you're right back in this game. You know, you got to kind of look at it as, how can we win or match every single inning? Well, you're probably not going to win this inning. They already scored 5 runs. But how do you get those back throughout the later innings and just take it 1 inning at a time? Okay, they won the 3rd. How can we win the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th? And if you look at an entire game, then, man, we got to make up 5 runs. But just take it 1 at a time, 1 inning at a time, and try to get back in the game.
The 1-0 from Jones finds the outer part of the plate. Evens the count at 1-1. And that's how do you eat an elephant? Just one bite at a time. 3 hits on the day for Skyridge. Jordan's got 5 runs on 5 hits. Of course, 3 of those runs coming off a bomb from Hughes. The 1-1, and Upham chases the breaking ball. Instead of going with it, they try to pull it there, and now count 1 and 2.
Well, and he's trying to, you know, the old terminology is trying to win it with 1 swing, right? And you can't do it. I mean, you're down 5 runs. You got to get more guys on base to give other people opportunities.
Hughes standing back just a couple of steps in front of the warning track on the short side of right field. They pitch him out, and now count 2 and 2. Clayton Driggs on deck, the 4-hitter. See if they can set him up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner goes. Breaking ball, grounder to 3rd. Handled by Hennings. They say it's fair. Up the line, and he's safe. Shows that wide receiver speed from the fall and extends the inning.
Well, and the ball looked fair, but the 3rd baseman is, you know, arguing with that. And, I mean, the ball doesn't it just has to go over the bag, right? As long as it hits in front of, you know, if it's a ground ball, it just has to go over the bag in fair territory. It doesn't have to land in fair territory after
Correct.
the bag. And, you know, you see a 3rd baseman, he's standing on the foul ground like, hey, this is where I caught that ball. Well, it doesn't matter. It crossed over the bag fair, right?
Yeah, the bag is the fair pole on the infield.
Yeah.
So now runners at 1st and 2nd, and Clayton Driggs stepping in to see if he can get the 1st run across the plate for Skyridge. Breaking ball, looks at ball 1. Driggs flew out to right field to end the 1st inning with a runner on 3rd. See if he can atone for that at bat. Playing fairly shallow in center, deep on the corners. Infield all back, trying to keep everything in front. Fastball finds the outside part of the plate, evens us up at 1-1.
Home plate umpire's given a lot on that right side, isn't he? I mean, that ball is not on the plate. But he's been there all day, and so you got to, as a hitter, you just have to adjust.
The 1-1, stay away again, and this one is not given a strike, so 2-1, and certainly pitching that way with how open Driggs is in his stance, so they can beat him outside. The 2-1. Foul back, and now evened up at 2-2. See if Coach Roberts puts guys in motion. You got a 3rd baseman back. Well, everybody back. I would have been half tempted, depending on how he handles the bat, just to try to drop one down on that last pitch. Well behind the bags on the corners. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. And bounces it, and the count runs full. Jackson Peck on deck. If Clayton Driggs can extend the inning either with a hit or a walk. Big time pitch here for Jones. The payoff. And it's down the 3rd baseline, handled by Hennings. Had a thread on it, but Hennings extinguished it with the glove. And we head to the top of the 4th inning. Jordan leading 5-0. Top of the 4th inning, Jordan looking to extend their lead, leading by 5 runs. As back to the top of the order we go, and Shaver looks at ball 1. Shaver 0 for 2 today.
Surprised to see Phillips back out there.
I'm a little bit too, as Shaver puts a charge into this one. Kohler having to go a long way. He's not Willie Mays on this one. He gets over his head all the way to the warning track. Shaver rounding second, and it's a stand-up triple to begin the inning. That's a way to get off the schneid a little bit from a couple tough at-bats, as Shaver quickly puts the 6th possible run just 90 feet away. Action in the bullpen as Hunter Swap comes to the plate. Singled his last time up and scored on the home run. Balances the breaking ball, and nicely done by Roberts to keep it up in front. Mitchell Sampson getting warm up in the left field bullpen as that one misses inside. Now 2 balls and no strikes, and a batter like Swap now really in control here.
Well, and at this point for Skyridge, when you give up a leadoff triple, now the goal is how do we not give up more than 1 run? The odds are that they're going to score this 1 run, so now it's, okay, what do we have to do to just give up just this 1?
Bounces that one. Here comes Shaver. No play at the plate as Jake Shaver takes it on the pass ball, and it's a 6-0 lead for Jordan. I don't think Colton could have taken that, but Jacob can.
Is it Colton's brother?
Yeah, it is.
Is he a senior?
I believe so. Yep. I'll double check that. And that is strike 1 on the 3-0 pitch. You think I would remember from the football season, but I don't want to be wrong.
I mean, no wonder he can hit. Colton could hit the crap out of the ball, so it just must be in the family.
And the 3-1 misses outside, ball 4, and just keep waiting to see Coach Roberts, who's already at the top step of the dugout, is you're going to be sending Phillips back through the heart of this order. And that brings up Noah Hennings, who singled to the left side last time up. And Hennings misses on the bunt, snap down and well behind him. But it does make the count 0-1.
Pretty surprising that they're trying to bunt here. When you're already up 6-0, you know, why not just try to pour it on?
And again, Hennings can't get the bunt down, and it's now 0-2.
I mean, you have your number 3 hitter up, right? So stereotypical, he should be a good hitter, should be a power hitter, and you're trying to bunt him, and you're up 6-0. I mean, I let him swing away, try to get the ball in the gap and keep moving runners, but.
And he couldn't hold up there, and he's down on strikes. Hennings retired for the first out of the inning, and you know, one thing about Coach Fife, anybody is going to draw the bunt sign, including the man coming to the plate in Hughes on Monday with runners, I think it was runners on first and second and 1 out. Got a bunt. It was supposed to be a push bunt. He tried to get over the top of the crashing first baseman and lined it out.
Well, and again, you know, I don't want to say that it's bad coaching or something like that. I mean, they're obviously a good team. They've won a lot of games, so it's good coaching. But in my opinion, he set that hitter up to fail by making him try to bunt, and then he got caught up in a 0-2 situation where it's like, man, I only got one thing left, and you know, it's a tough situation to be in.
So coming to the plate now, the right fielder Connor Hughes, and I mean, you got a little bit of a powder keg here if all of a sudden they start pitching him inside. He hit that 3-run homer and made sure everybody knew about it. Stealing on the first pitch, and that throw down is too tall, and they try to get him off the bag, and the umpire not falling for it as Peck kept the tag on Hunter Swap, but did not get the benefit. So now a runner in scoring position for Hughes with 1 away. And that breaking ball got there late. Fooled him on that one, jelly-legged him, and it's now even at 1-1.
Hey, I've been there before. I remember playing against TCU one time, and they had a big, tall left-hander that just threw I thought it was going to hit me, and it was right down the middle. I felt so embarrassed.
That's in for strike 2. I think anyone's been there.
Yeah.
Tibbs did that to me in a stinking camp. He threw a breaking ball. I mean, I was a sophomore. He was a senior. I dove out of there. Strike 1. I was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, you can't come back from that.
I only felt better because late at the next inning, he's playing short, and I hit a screamer on him. He didn't handle on a short hop, and I thought, okay,
now we're even.
I got him back because I was still really embarrassed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hughes. Bounces it, and easily taking third base is Hunter Swap. Love the aggression of Jordan. They read the baseball really well on overthrows from the outfield, bounce balls at the plate. They're taking extra bags.
Well, and Roberts, the catcher, kind of got caught in between. Should I stab it with my glove or should I try to block it? I mean, with 2 strikes, you got to give up the stab and just get down your knees and block it.
And Hughes pops this one up in the infield, but everybody was drawn in. This can be a little bit more difficult than initially. Peck makes the grab, and the fire home is off the mark, and he had tagged up, and it is a walk-in run from Swap, and I believe that will be the day for Phillips. If nothing else, Coach Roberts is on fire. The way that one was handled because his pitcher got caught watching, and he's going to head to left field as Upham's going to come on, I believe.
I mean, great base running.
7-0. We're going to take a break on the pitching change. Welcome back as Sampson's going to come on to pitch as the day is done. We'll get through the stats here just in a little bit. Dusty Lister and Alex Wolf with you. And we're both having a conversation. This is inconsequential. I mean, I'm just book stuff, but let's talk about the aggressiveness. First of all, the infield is drawn in. That's a tough play for Peck, but the throw off the mark. It does a nice job on third base coming off the bag, ready to take the bag on the throw. And we're just talking if it's an error or a sacrifice. I think it's a throwing error.
I do too. I think it's an error on the second baseman. You know, I don't really know the rules that well as far as scoring goes and things like that, but they haven't put up an error up on the scoreboard, so maybe someone knows something different than we do.
Yeah, the ball swung through, and my take always, keeping my book, is how did he score? He didn't score because of the sacrifice fly. Well, the sacrifice fly to the outfield. He scores because of the distance. And something on the infield, he's not scoring because of that. He's scoring because the throw was short and not handled. So that's neither here or there, but we got conversations here at the plate I'm trying to understand too.
But again, when you're up 6-0, you can do things like that. You can be a little bit more aggressive, and hopefully they mess up, fumble the ball around, and then you get another easy run.
And that one misses inside. And now that's 2 balls and no strikes. Oh, it might have been just a conversation about the scoreboard. Is that the plate is designated hitter, Kyson Stein. The 2-0 is in for called strike 2. As you mentioned, Sampson coming on. The book is closed on Phillips with nobody on. Down 7-0. And it's now 3-1. Stein singled in the second, walked and scored in the third, and he going to get first base on that one here.
That's the worst thing as a coach. You bring in a new pitcher. He's been warming up in the bullpen. He's ready to go, and he walks the first guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a punch in the face.
The hard part is, if say Skyridge does not bounce back from this one, in this game, they got to turn around and play against Olympus. So now you're thinking we just got to find some momentum. Because no matter what happens today, you've got to, or in this game, you've got to find some momentum for whatever happens either Friday or what you're going to have to turn around and play next.
Well, and then again, you look back at the pitching numbers and the counts. You know, we still have 3 or 4 innings left, and it's like we got to get through this game. But we can't use too many pitchers because, one, we got to play one right after this. If we win that game, then we got to play 2 more to try to win state championship, and we're just run out of arms at that point.
And not only that, you got to win 3 more because you're going to have to win after that one. You got to win twice on Friday.
That's right.
So the 0-1 from Sampson misses wide of the plate.
You know, in Olympus, I haven't watched any of their games, but running through the losers bracket, I assume they don't have a lot of pitching left. They've played a lot of games the last week and a half, and they probably don't have a lot of pitching left, and so.
And they've been playing since Saturday. Their only day off has been Sunday because they played Saturday and got the win, got Sunday off, played Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is today. So you're 4 days, 4 out of the last 5 days on the
double elimination tournament in the losers bracket is almost impossible.
There's no bueno.
Yeah.
Been there. Never fun when you lose, especially when they lost in the first game. I mean, that's what's even harder because you got to turn around and play the next day. Essentially go back to back to back all the way through the week. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. And now the count full goes all the way to the screen. So now walking to second base is Kyson Stein. And what was a very competitive game right now is turning out to be a woodshedder, especially if they go plate run number 8 here in the last 2 innings.
Well, you can just see the Jordan bench is jumping up and down, super excited, clapping together, and Skyridge is just holding on for dear life.
And he got him to swing through that one, so gets through the inning. But we're through 3.5, heading to the bottom of the 4th, 7-0 Beat Diggers. They played at 2 in the top of the inning. Bottom of the fourth inning, Dusty Litster and Alex Wolf with you here at Brent Brown Ballpark. 7-0 the lead for Jordan as the Beat Diggers absolutely playing extremely well. Coach Fife, and I saw him before the game, he talked about, hey, the way the season started, he goes, hey, look, I told our guys after they lost the series to Cottonwood that, look, we got to ascend in our season. He's like, we can't peak out and get worried about losing games in March. We've got to be peaking in April and May, and they are certainly doing that. As Jackson Peck, the leadoff man, flies out on the first pitch of the inning and one away.
Well, they're playing really well. They're pitching it well. They're playing great defense and obviously very timely hitting. Skyridge has given them a couple easy bases, a couple easy runs. A friend of mine, Tyler, just texted me and said, this half inning is going to determine the game, and I tend to believe with him, or believe what he said is if Skyridge can't put a couple runs on the board, it's going to be a hard stint to try to do it in the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
And as you know, we always say hitting is contagious, but not only that, it's momentum built. And what we were talking about last night is if you don't win this one, you've got to find some momentum that can send you into the next game, because you saw from Timpanogos and Cottonwood, I was very firm in saying the top 4 teams in this state were Jordan, Skyridge, Cottonwood, and Timpanogos in any order. But when a lot of times for these young kids, they lose that game, they know how hard it is. It's hard to get them back up to go play in that one-loss bracket.
It is really hard. And you're 100% right that hitting is contagious. And right now you can just see that every one of the hitters as Skyridge steps up there, he's pressing and just trying to do too much at the plate. And they got to realize that they got to get runners on. Somehow, some way, lay down a bunt, fight off some pitches, get a walk, but somehow, some way you got to get on base first. You're not going to hit 7, home runs. It's just not going to happen, right? So we got to get runners on base and then get a couple big hits. You mentioned hitting is contagious. You get a couple runners on, you hit a double, you have another guy in second base. Now everybody wants to hit. Everybody wants that RBI.
And nothing else. You just look at what happened in the top half of the 3rd inning. We were talking about, hey, who's going to bust through? Well, Jordan did on what would normally be a flyout, even at Gates Field, would have been just a pop-up, turned into a 3-run homer, and it just sent shockwaves up and down that order. Yeah, we got something going on down the right field line. I don't know if a gate opened or something down the line. Gate opened, and they want to make sure everything's shut so we don't have any issues. And now we got it closed. Well, I thought it would be a quick timeout. I saw something.
I was about to call Bryce Winward, who's a great gate guy, come down here, get him down here and fix that for us.
2 balls and no strikes to Jay Shepard. Chops this one to the left side, and that one's not stabbed. And Hennings could not get that one as he made a great play to end last inning. So a runner aboard with 1 out. And I'll bring up Kai Roberts and see if Skyridge can get back-to-back hits, which they have not done in this ball game. And Roberts had the double his last time up to right center. And that's in there for a called strike.
You see Roberts step out of the plate there, shaking his head, and it's just, you can't do that as a catcher. You can't do that to your umpire and try to show him up. You just got to wear it and say, you know what, if I get that when I'm catching, then I can do it when I'm hitting.
And that one misses inside. Shepard does not take off. He stays at first base. And evened up at 1-1. No, you're right. It's always fun throughout the game to watch that relationship between catcher and umpire. We had a really good one, Skyridge, Cottonwood, and you saw how the home plate umpire had gotten into a good relationship with both catchers, taking care of him, getting hit, and everything else like that. And you're right, you show him up. You're not getting a timeout after a tip ball goes off your mask.
I had a hard time with it. I always thought I was right. I always thought.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I always thought I was right, if you can believe that. And, I rubbed umpires the wrong way. And I just expected a lot more out of them, and I do it when I was hitting too. And so it's a fine line that you have to walk. And it's something that just takes time to learn. You just can't do that stuff. Because what's going to happen is I think Roberts is only a sophomore. He's going to get this home plate umpire again. Maybe not in this tournament, but next year, year after that. And umpires have a very, very long memory. They remember when people show them up like that.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swung through and missed. Strike 3. Roberts down on strikes, and now 2 outs for Skyridge. They'll just kind of build on your point, the fun story. He's now going to be the $30 million a year man here really, really soon. And Bryce Harper, he had done the same thing in JUCO ball, and he gets to the World Series game, and all he did was touch the plate, and the umpire had thrown him out because they felt like he'd rubbed him wrong in a couple of games before.
Exactly.
Brings up Carter Smith, the right fielder, and that one's off the mark. Carter went down looking back in the second inning. And again, trying to build off something, but Shepard hit aboard at first base. Chopper to left side. Hennings can't handle it off of the hips. It'll be E5, and we got 2 aboard with Connor Robley coming to the plate.
The last 3 balls hit to third base have been very, very difficult hops.
And not badly played there by Hennings. I mean, that's just a tough hop, right? In between.
Yeah, ball hit that hard, chopped in the ground. You're going to get that really, really aggressive second bounce that you don't really know what you're going to do. You know, I was always taught it's better to just come after it than wait back and try to play it. But either way, you get caught and sometimes in a bad position, and it's not your fault. And the sad thing is he gets an error up about it, but.
Roby put a charge into it, but wide. Well foul. Connor Robley singled his last time, or his only time up back in the third inning. Singled to the right side to lead off the inning last inning. If he can come through with the same type of hit here, he's going to plate the first run for Skyridge. But he's granted time, and he'll step back in. Breaking ball misses, and the count now even at a ball and a strike. Outfield back, not holding any of the runners on. Bouncer to the third side. Hennings comes up with it clean. Across the infield, in time, no! Great play by Hennings. That's a bang-bang call at first base, and now the base is loaded.
And again, I mean, he is getting worked over there. Hard hops, diving for balls. It came up. I mean, you couldn't do anything else. Ball was hit not hard enough and gave time for the runner to get to first base. And it was a bang-bang play, but I think he was safe. I think it was the right call.
So top of the order we go. Interesting once again. Bases loaded for Skyridge. Went able to come through last inning, see if they can this inning. And Jones misses outside, ball 1 to leadoff man Jackson Kohler.
Well, it's good to see. It's going to be good to see what Jones does here, right? He hasn't had a lot of pressure in this game, and it'll be good to see what happens here and how he reacts.
Misses outside, ball 2. Nowhere to put him, and the best hitter on deck for Skyridge and Brody College.
Do you take here, Dusty?
Yes.
I think I make him pitch, yep. You're going to get the same pitch 2-1 as you get 2-0.
Swung through and missed, and that's why.
That ball's off the plate. And,
Yeah.
And I get it. You're trying to be aggressive and you want to do well for your team, but you got to be a little smarter than that. You got to be able to just say, I'm a good enough hitter to hit something 2-0 as I am 2-1.
And on top of it, the 2-1 count, no matter what, would feel better on the take.
Exactly.
Here's the 2-1 fastball, swung through and missed for the second time, and the count now even at 2-2.
So now look at it this way. That ball was off the plate. We swung at 2-0. Should have been 3-0. Comes back with another good pitch, and now it's 2-2. I mean, it's a completely different bat at that point.
And right now for Jones and the Jordan coaching staff, I feel like they got a swing-o-matic up there.
Yeah.
Here comes, I believe, a curveball here with 2-2. He sped him up and now go back door on him. But Jones didn't like it, so. Good thing he doesn't have Crash Davis on the list. The 2-2. And he misses. Not a bad one, though. Full count.
7-0. You're up 7 runs. Bases loaded. I'm throwing a 3-2 curveball. He'll probably go fastball here, but, man, spin something off here, see what happens.
Everybody moving. And he misses. And the first run comes across in the form of Jay Shepard. And Skyridge now on the board. They bust through. And now Brody College coming to the plate. And he certainly has the power, as we talked about before, the walk-off grand slam against Timpanogos. He's got enough power up there to make this a 2-run ball game.
Well, and even if it's not a home run, a base hit, scores 2 more runs, and then you still have guys in first and second or second and third, and, you know, we talk about that momentum. And now the momentum is going to start swinging back. Skyridge can get a couple more runs here. You got to believe that the momentum swings back towards their side just because they can, now they know, all right, we cut the deficit in half, close to half, now let's work on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. We've got to go out and put a 0 on it, but.
And College looks at that one. You saw, hopefully he's zeroed in a little bit. You got to, in my opinion, get to 2-1.
Yeah.
On this, in this at bat. The 1-0. Fouls this one back right at us. And it's 1-1. College walked last inning and flew out the third in the first. And we got action up the right field line. Can't quite see the numbers, but they got them here, so we'll try to grab that here in a minute. That one's off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike, and now I believe you're seeing fastball here.
You're going to see a fastball. And as a hitter, you got to say, I'm looking for one certain spot here, something that I can drive. Don't be too aggressive on a ball to low. Let him bring it up and hit it.
There it is, down the left field line. It's hooking, and it is foul. Whoa, baby. Where that one is there, I couldn't quite tell where it hit on the line or on the sign out in left field. Man, that was close.
Well, and it's hard as a home plate umpire when you only have 3 guys. That's his call, right? So he's got to worry about the pitch, and then once that ball hits, he's got to bust it down the third base line to see if that's fair or foul. And it's a hard thing to do.
So College, just a long strike, steps back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Fastball outer part of the plate, check swing, yes he did. And the threat is ended. Drew Jones held on by the hairs of his chinny chin, but he gets through. We head to the top of the 5th, 7-1, Jordan. Top of the 5th inning, and starting the inning off for Jordan is the pitcher Drew Jones, who just got out of the jam. Bases loaded, and Brody College nearly made this a 2-run ball game. He swings the first one. I got a feeling one of those is going to come right in here.
We might need to close that window.
I like feeling connected to the people, but it might cost me here in a minute.
No, I'll catch it for you, Dusty. I won't let it hit you.
The 0-1 to Jones is low. He gets us up at 1-1. That's got to feel fairly deflating for Skyridge. See if they can keep it together.
Especially after the long swing that was almost a home run. It was right over the line, and then the next pitch you strike out. I mean, you feel like, man, we're right on the peak of where we can push this over and get closer to this game, and then a big strikeout.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Jones. Sampson bounces it. You can tell he aimed that one, and it's now even at 2-2. Trying really hard to hit a spot there. The 2-2. Got him to swing through it. Tipped it right into the glove of Roberts, 1 away. Is that harder than it looks, taking that one off the tip of the catcher?
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly just blind luck that it falls into your glove, I think.
Brings up Gage Edwards. Had an RBI single last inning. And just like that, Sampson gets up on the count.
If Sampson can get their team back in the dugout really, really quick, it'll be a huge momentum swing. I know it's 7-1, and it goes without saying, Skyridge can't give up any more runs, though. You're just running out of outs at this point. You know, and as Jordan, you got to look at it as, okay, we just have to get 9 more outs.
Yeah.
Who cares up? Who cares who's on base or anything? We just need outs, right? And it's a numbers game at this point.
You're not so much worried about the run so much. It's like, hey, they're scoring one at a time. Like they score 1 run in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Who cares? That's not enough to get it done.
Well, no, and Skyridge is a great team, and they can put up runs in a hurry, right? And so Jordan has to be defensive a little bit because they can come back. I mean, anyone can come back, but especially Skyridge. They have a great hitting ball club. And, you know, just this last inning, they were 1 hit away from changing the game around.
Bounces that one. The count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gage worked himself into his 7-pitch at bat last inning and draws a walk here. So 1 out walk and the second surrender, just an inning and a third here for Sampson. And now to the 9-hole we go. Noah Bachman. Actually, yeah, it will be Noah Bachman, but we'll have a speed up come on for Gage Edwards. So Jordan looking to put another run on the board here, no doubt. So DeAndre Cooper, the speed up runner. And Noah Bachman comes on. He showed bunt. Roberts mishandles the pitch. And some of the woes continue as now that ball. Because this is clean. The clean things I said tonight, Coach. I'd come to the top. Hey, let's put a 10 on the circus right now. Let's close this thing in. Let's do the little things right now, guys.
It's really, really hard when you're down 7-1 and things just haven't gone your way, but you just can't compound bad plays with more bad plays.
As Bachman fouls that one back on the bunt attempt. Robert's going to have a little bit of a chat here. They're growing a little stale here. Got a little hyper with the 3-run homer, but Jordan staying in control and Skyridge unable to come through has just kind of kept everything really dormant here at the ballpark. 1 ball and 1 strike to Bachman. A little 3/4 armed. I don't know if that was a change or what that was. It stayed high.
It looked like a curveball that just didn't really do anything.
Last night I heard Sutcliffe call one of those just a spinner. And that one, again, didn't break in. And count out 3 balls and 1 strike to Bachman. You get the top of the order coming up. And I'll show you some production numbers from the first 5 hitters on the day when we get there.
Well, they've done a lot of damage. I know that. I don't need to look at the numbers to know that, but.
As Bachman hangs, actually fouls that one off. Full count now. Full count, runner on second, 1 out. Breaking ball, defensive swing there. Just trying to stay alive. Bachman would be standing at first base, but he'd already committed on that one.
Really good pitch. And you got to give credit to Sampson on the mound. He's come in, he's, eliminated the damage as much as he could, and he's trying to keep his guys in the ballgame. And he's throwing strikes. It's a hard situation to be in as a pitcher, and I think he's handling it pretty well to just keep his team in the game.
Again, the payoff pitch. 3/4 breaking ball fouled out of play. And I'll get to the 8th pitch of this at bat. As they're just hanging on here. Every batter from Jordan feeling so much like that Timpanogos game. Work themselves deep into counts and hanging on with even 2 strikes. And this one gets up and in, and he wears that one on the plastic. And down the first he goes, and out comes Coach Roberts. And he's going to go to a pitching change. We'll take a break with him. Top of the 5th inning, 7-1, Jordan. And welcome back, Jason Simper coming on to pitch for Coach Roberts. And in my opinion, right now he's not necessarily conceding this game, but pitching wise, not going to Upham. You say, all right, Upham's going to pitch against Olympus, or he's pitching the next game if we're getting to Friday. Although Carter Smith would be up in the line to go do it, but right now Upham is the plan until you see what's going on.
Well, we talked about this earlier in the game, the pitch count and how many you can and can't throw, and how many games you have to play if you do lose a game to get back in it. It's a tall task for sure.
So the book not closed on Sampson. He's responsible for the 2-on. As we now go to the top of the order, and Jacob Shaver had that stand-up leadoff triple. The first 4 hitters, Wolf, they are responsible for 5 of the 7 runs.
Yeah.
Either scoring them or driving them in.
They can swing it, that's for sure. I mean, even at some top of the lineups for most teams, you can maybe squeak by 1 or 2 hitters, but here, I mean, it's 1 through 4 can swing it.
And there's one right there, Shaver to the right side, and because of 1 out, got a freeze on a line drive, not able to score the run from second. So it'll be bases loaded for Hunter Swap. And Hunter's had a pretty good day today. 1 for 2 with a single and 2 runs scored as he walked and then scored last inning. So bases loaded, corners in to the left side, and Robley can't handle it down the line. Here comes in 1, now rounding, coming 2, the throw to the plate, there won't be a play. Snap down to second, Swap will be out at second base, but not before he drives in 2 runs, 2 away, and Shaver standing at third. That's a 2-run single for Hunter Swap.
Looked like the third baseman was, before he caught the ball, decided what he was going to try to do, and he was trying to do that quick before, he caught the ball first. Kind of a tough play again, a little short hop.
And that brings up Noah Hennings, and he looks at strike 1, displeased with the call. It'll be 0-1. That one's wide of the plate, and now evened up. Shaver standing at third. He scored on a pass ball last inning. As it's 9-1 Beat Diggers. As that one is wide of the plate. Ball 2. And Jordan in the proud history of baseball since 2005, where they really started to pick things up baseball-wise. They've gone to a couple championship games. I believe they won one a few years ago, but they lost one of the funnest championship games I've ever called against Taylorsville back in 2008. One of the most controversial ones I've ever been a part of as well in their 100-year anniversaries. This one shafted to short. Taking on a hop. College got it out, and he's safe, and the run comes in. So Shaver scores, and we'll see if they give that one an error. I don't think that's in between, but I'll give him a hit and an RBI.
Yeah, tough play. Even if he did pick it cleanly and got out of his glove cleanly, he was probably going to be safe anyway. A little nubber to shortstop and just kind of no man's land out there.
A 9-run lead, and Jordan potentially could 10-run this ball game. If they score another one, it's Hughes down the left field line and just foul.
Yeah, if you're Jordan here, you really want to get that 10th run, save arms, same pitching counts, and move on to the next game as fast as you can.
And they have 10-run a lot of guys. You know, talking with Coach Fife on Monday, he talked about this region. He goes, well, we started with Cottonwood. He's like, we knew our region, you know, region's region. He said, but we really felt like, you know, you got to deal with Corner Canyon after that. Brighton was much better than we thought this year. He's like, but we knew we could handle it from there. And since that series, they really have not been tested. And through this state tournament, Alex, 42 runs in 3 games coming into this game today, and you put up 10 more, 52 runs.
That's impressive. I mean, and they're not giving up a lot of runs, though.
52 to 11 is the run differential.
I mean, they're not giving up very many runs either.
Can you imagine being up plus 41
yeah.
in the run differential in the state tournament? That pitch up and out. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hughes. And the 2-1. Off-speed pitch lifted high into center field. Kohler under it. And that'll do it, but 3 more runs come across for Jordan. They lead 10-1, a commanding lead heading to the bottom of the 5th. And welcome back into Brent Brown Ballpark. It's been all Beat Diggers, 10-1. Dusty Litster and Alex Wolf. And Alex, we didn't see this coming. When you and I, we were talking before the game about what we thought we'd see. Really thought this would be extremely close coming into, really as we got here in the latter innings. I thought this game would be decided between the 5th and 6th inning.
Yeah, I mean, Skyridge is, both teams are very good hitting teams. And Skyridge is just not doing as well today. You got to give credit to the Jordan pitcher. He's been keeping them off balance, and to keep Skyridge off balance is a tall task because they can swing it and they can hit. I went to the 3 games they played against Timpanogos, and Timpanogos has some pretty good arms. And the first game, Skyridge blew them out and hit the ball all over the place. And then the second and third game, it seemed like every hitter came up to the plate, and he had a chance to hit the ball a long ways.
And Nate Upham at the plate, the left fielder, fouls that out of play, count now even at a ball and a strike. Upham on the day is 2 for 2 with a triple and a single, but he's been stranded both times. The 1-1 bounced and is now 2 balls and a strike. Surprisingly, I haven't seen Olympus make their way into the stadium as of yet. As I say that, I now see them coming, walking to the top here of the concourse. So the 2-1. And Upham swings through that one, evened up at 2-2. And Drew Jones has gotten into some issues today, but Alex, he's been able to get out of it.
Well, he's been doing awesome. He's kept these guys off balance. He's thrown a lot of strikes. His defense has been outstanding for him. A couple great plays at third base and in the outfield, and he really has had control of this game.
And that one misses up. Count runs full. And the payoff pitch from Jones. Outside, ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk from Nate Upham.
I mean, at this point for Jordan and Drew Jones, I mean, this is his game, right? I mean, he's past the 60 mark and probably past even the next mark where he can't throw again this week. And so, I mean, this is his game to ride it out. And as I say that, someone's throwing down in the bullpen. So maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, you're protected against. Be interesting to see. So Clayton Driggs comes in as that one off wide of the plate, snapped down to first way late. But Driggs on the day, he really put a charge into one down the third baseline, was stabbed well by Hennings. Could have turned this game a little bit. Chops this one back up the middle. It'll be taken by Shaver. Step on second. Throw to first, broken up by Upham. And now a little bit of contact up the line, and to no avail. And we'll have a runner on first as Driggs will reach on the fielder's choice, and one away. But as long as Driggs goes through the bag, I mean, there's nothing there. I don't see a lot of hooping and hollering about it.
You can go past the bag in high school?
She's got to slide to the bag for Nate Upham. That's the new rule. He's got to slide to the bag. Yeah, he can't slide all the way through it like he used to be able to.
Well, so he went through the bag, but he went directly into the bag. So is that's okay if he goes through the bag as long as he's in the line, right?
Yeah, as long as he's going right to the bag. He can't slide out, right? Okay. Like you and I got to play a little bit. We give him the AO rules where you can, as long as you are arm lengths away. And they made some changes on that. Now, I think they might be discussing this because if they do call it interference, the runners Driggs is out at first base as well. We had this on, it was on Monday. I'm trying to remember which game it was. It might have been the Jordan game. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but it was a Jordan game. It was Jordan Timanogus.
Play at the plate?
Play at the plate, slid through, and he had to get out at first base as well. He had bases loaded and one out, and the game essentially flips at that moment as Timanogus gave that up. So out at second, and interference, so it'll be a double play as the interference on Nate Upham. So I might have been right at first saying he had to slide to the bag and not through it anymore. I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, it's tough from our angle to see where he, if he was in the baseline or whatever you want to call it, but he most definitely slid right through the bag.
And I get why. I mean, you got to protect some guys, and it's hard to handle. As a coach, you're a little frustrated, especially Coach Roberts. He coached collegiate baseball for so long.
Well, the hard thing is the umpire at second base had the best view of everything. Why didn't he make the call when it happened?
And that's probably the frustration for Coach Roberts.
Right? It's like, well, if that's the rule, it should have been called as the rule.
As he's standing there. It's like in basketball. It's the foul called from the official standing at half court underneath the hoop.
And I had a hard time with that. It's never a good thing when umpires get together. They need to make the call, and they don't have replay in high school. They make the call as they see it, and that's the call that's going to happen. Now, if an umpire has a better view and a better angle, then you go and you help him out and correct him. But right there, the umpire at second base had the best view.
Yeah. And in the end, they're going with the request of Jordan, hey, get together. Someone else saw this thing differently. Look, why don't you guys talk about it? And I agree with you. It's the good and the bad of that. The 1-0 finds his, probably the 0-1 finds his own there too. As my book in the scoreboard a little off. Scoreboard's got it 1-1. I got 0-2 because I thought he fouled off the first pitch, as that one's bounced. See if the blue gives us his count here. Does not. So we'll go with the scoreboard. 2 balls and 1 strike. That one's wide of the plate. Count now even at 2-2. Or pardon me, 3-1. Yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Feeling good about myself.
You're right, Dusty.
Yeah. So umpire makes the change. Catcher's on top of it. Good job there by Bachman. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that'll do it through the 5th inning. Through 5, we are 10-1, a 9-run lead for Jordan. Well, welcome back to Brent Brown Ballpark. All beat diggers, and they're coming back here in the top of the 6th inning, needing 1 run to make this a 10-run ball game, and then it'll be up to Skyridge to score a run the bottom of the 6th inning to get to the 7th. And Dusty Litzter and Alex Wolf with you here. Starting off with Kyson Stein to lead off the top of the 6th inning. But just an impressive day. I mean, I don't know how other ways we can talk about it. You and I talked about it before. It's hard to call games like this sometimes because I feel like you keep restating things. But just an impressive day from Jordan on a team from Skyridge who was extremely good and rolling coming into this one to hold them to 1 run. And only I can get 10 on them. Yeah,
you look at the teams that Skyridge played. They played good teams in the state tournament, and they beat them really well. And we were expecting a lot closer ball game today. And it just, man, Jordan just has a lot of firepower.
Well, Jordan went out to a tournament, the national tournament in California, and took 4th place. And they felt really good about that. And they came back and ended up losing to Cottonwood as that ball fell out of play. Coach Fife told me, Cottonwood was playing championship baseball. He's like, they really came into our series playing extremely well. And he had to remind his guys, hey, it's a long year. We talked about that earlier, that we just got to peak at the right time. And for Skyridge, they went down to the Boris Classic. They were added late there by Scott Boris, the power agent, and went down, played really well. Lost some of those games, but Coach Robert said we played well in that tournament, though. And I feel like that talent would transition into this to region play, and it really has.
Well, and I mean, you got to give Skyridge credit. They've only been a school for what, 2 years?
Yeah, this is the second year.
Right? And this is back-to-back years where they've been in the state tournament, not just in the state tournament, but a deep run into the state tournament. And they're going to have another opportunity. They're going to have a, if they do end up losing this game, and, anything can happen in the 6th and 7th inning, but if they do end up losing, then they're going to have a chance to play Olympus, who's another good team, right after this. And I've always said, once you get to the state championship day, anything can happen. And it would be hard-pressed not to bet with Jordan based on their swings and based on, how many runs they can put up. But anything can happen once you get to that day. And so Skyridge has got to keep their heads up and just keep moving on. And Coach Roberts is a great coach. I played for him, and he knows what he's talking about. And he's coached this team to 2 back-to-back state championships, and that's great.
When you take a look at Jordan, I was talking earlier about championships, and their only state championship in school history is with Coach Fife back in 2013-2014 season, taking that championship. And before then, a lot of appearances. They lost in the 5A championship. I know in 2005 they lost in 2000, or probably they won it in 2006. The one I thought about that they had lost actually won that one with Coach Anderson. In the controversial play was catcher from Taylorsville, I believe it was Jensen, hit a ball in the left center field. This was at Larry H. Miller Field. Hit the top of the fence. It bounced and stayed on top of it and rolled back into play. Everybody was confused about what went on. I ran down to go talk to his, matter of fact, the hitter, whose dad is Blake Jensen, one of the great umpires in this state. As this ball is roped into center field, they'll hold the runner at second base. And Gage Carson with a single there. And it'll bring up Drew Jones. But was it a home run? It hit the tree branch. And it actually ended up changing the game. Taylorsville couldn't come back in. Jordan won the game and won the state championship.
So did they call it a home run?
Did not. They called it a double. Because he got to second base on the throw-in. I remember Cody Raymond was the center field, and he's jumping up trying to knock it off the wall. And luckily it rolls back in. He grabs it and chucks it back in to hold him at second base. But that was one of the great moments that I can remember in state tournament games that I've called.
Wow.
The other was here at Brent Brown Ballpark with some Wolf kid threw a gem to knock down Bingham and claim a championship for Timpanogos.
I wish I could say that was me. I really do. But anytime you put together a gem and someone throwing, it probably wasn't me.
Yeah. Your younger brother Tanner, as Drew Jones steps in and looks at ball one.
I remember getting video of that game sent to me when I was on my mission, and correct me if I'm wrong, but was it 3-2, 2 outs with the bases loaded?
Yeah.
And he struck out the last guy?
Yep.
I mean, you live for those moments, and that was good for him.
And that one's in for called strike. He was count 1-1. Give you that book page. I think I still have that book somewhere. One ball and one strike here to Drew Jones. Simper in a little bit of trouble. That breaking ball does not get the benefit of the call, so 2-1. The 10th run standing in scoring position. Jordan can bring that one across and then hold Skyridge scoreless. Will end in the 6th inning. Swings through that one, strike 2. The 2-2 misses, and it's full count. So a tough at bat here for Simper. And the payoff pitch, double play ball still in order here. If you get a breaking ball, line drive, taken. Did he get it cleanly is my question. So he calls it out on the and now as he And now he calls him out. That is confusion by the call because he doesn't. I'm confused, and I'm sure everyone's confused. And the third base coach at Jordan, and now here comes Coach Fife. I mean,
well, what happened was, and the umpire at second base, when the ball was hit, he didn't make a call right out of the gate. He sat there and waited, and when they threw the ball back to second base, he pointed to the shortstop, and he went and he said safe, right?
Did he? I thought he called him out.
Oh, then he called him out, and then what did he? Then he must have pointed to the second baseman and said safe, and it probably just confused the second baseman of what was going on, and he walked off the second base. But
yeah, see where I was confused is I thought when he called him out, if he was calling on the catch, because
maybe that's what he did. He called it. He was calling him out.
But because really what happened? So if the ball actually hit the ground, that the first out he called was on the runner from first. That's a force out from first to second. He's calling him essentially safe at second base, and now the kid leaves second base. Now they can throw him out and get him. Get him out. So I wish you got to talk to.
Yeah.
You know. In umpiring and business or anything, communication is key. And Coach Fife and the home plate umpire having a little discussion, and it'll be 2 outs. But standing at first base is it speed up runner, I believe. Yeah, speed up runner number 15. So reaching on a fielder's choice. So that brings up Gage Edwards. We'll try to sort that one out. So, sorry, we're still talking. I'm trying to figure out how to get on. Either way, count is 2 balls and 1 strike to to Gage Edwards. Gage is single, has an RBI, and also walked and scored a run last inning. The 2-1 is up in the zone. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. And that one on the outside corner. Count now full.
Really good pitch right there. Down and away. Just can't do anything there when it's a 3-1 count and hitters looking to drive something, and quality pitch by Skyridge.
Full count, 2 outs, runner on first. He goes, and that is called strike 3. And that'll do it for the top half of the 6th inning. Simper gets through without giving up any runs. It's 10-1 Jordan in the 5A semifinals. We got our own Who's on First going on in between innings. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning. Dusty Litster and Alex Wolf. Pushing all the cool buttons today is Thompson Coles, Ryan Rasmussen, one of our camera technicians. Brings up Jace Shepard to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Right now, no run rule on. Right now we'll be heading to the top of the 7th inning no matter what. Shepard singled and scored the only run for Skyridge, and that one's called a strike, evens us up at 1-1. Ooh, that was a little tall inside, but gets the benefit of the call. Shepard had to compose himself there for a second. The 1-2 breaking ball misses inside, and count all even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You've seen a lot of guys on both teams kind of stepping out of the dugout or stepping out of the box and shaking their heads and getting frustrated a little bit. And I just wonder, is there a rule, that says they need to stay in the batter's box? Because in college, you don't get to leave the batter's box unless you swing or make an attempt or there's a dirt ball or something happens. If it's just a normal pitch, you at least have to leave 1 foot in the batter's box.
Yeah, I don't think they've made that rule into the high school game yet. And that one is ball 4. Yeah, the NFHS got to leave some rules out there they can change. Maybe that's the next one.
It was the worst, though, in college because, you disagreed with a call and you wanted to step out and clear yourself, and the umpire would be right there and he'd say, hey, keep your foot in the box. And there was multiple times where I would say something back to the umpire. I remember one time we were playing Utah, and it was a heated moment, and umpire made a call that I didn't think was a strike, obviously, and I stepped all the way out of the box, and the umpire said, get back in the box. And the only thing, I was being a smart aleck, and all I said back to him was like, you get in the box. And everyone heard that I told him to get back in the box and just started laughing, but I was so mad and upset that he called it a strike. I had to say something back to him.
Colby Peck coming to the plate, his official entrance in this game for Kai Roberts. Looks at ball 1. That's a good story.
Yeah, it is. And I talked to the umpire after the game, and he said that was probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard someone say back to me.
The 1-0 down the line and foul. Sometimes you just give it up for a good response.
And sometimes you just don't have a good comeback. It's just not your day, Dusty. Sometimes you be childish and just say what that person said to you.
Runner at first base. And now when there's throw over, pardon me. Apologize, I don't have a 14 on my lineup card. I probably have my thumb over it, like the picture I took. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Colby Peck. And that ball's out of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. And nothing else. When you talk about Fort Jordan, Coach Fife's got to be pleased about with Jones is you're leaving all your pitchers open now. You're going to hit Friday, and the one pitcher you won't have is Jones.
Yeah. When you can see this inning, he's leaving a lot of balls up. And, as a pitcher or a catcher, when you see balls that are up in the zone consistently, it tells you that someone's getting tired, right? They're not getting their body all the way into the pitch. They're not really reaching out as far as they can when they're releasing the baseball, and they're just kind of doing it because they're getting tired. Their arm's tired, their body's tired. He's been working for 6 innings, and it's probably getting close.
And here's a ball right back up the middle. Shaver has it, steps on second, on to first. Got it there in time. Double play once again for Shaver, 2 outs. I mean, effectively, that is the third double play of the day for Shaver. As Carter Smith steps in with ball 1. The 1-0. Foul back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. That one's fouled out of play. You know, you speak about Jones and what he's done today. Pitch to contact, and I sing the great line in Bull Durham. Don't try to blow everything by everybody. It's tyrannical.
Yeah.
Get some ground balls. It's more diplomatic.
Yeah. and something to be said. I mean, 3 double play balls, a lot of ground ball outs. It saves your arm. It saves your pitch count, and it speeds the game up. You know, it's great when a guy strikes out a lot of hitters, but a lot of times it's probably even better to let them hit the ball and let your defense stay engaged a little bit. You know, and he hasn't given up very many walks. He's been down in the zone. Just a great overall performance by Jones.
He bounces that one. Yeah, 4 walks on the day through 6 2/3. Full count, 2 outs. And that one misses wide, and Smith's aboard with a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Connor Robley. And Robley reached on he singled the left side. And this again chopped to third. Hennings has it, makes a strong throw across the infield, and that'll do it for the 6th inning. Jordan coming to the plate, up 9 in the 5A semifinals on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 7th inning, Noah Bachman leading off for the Beat Diggers. Noah, don't call me Ehrlich Bachman, for those of us who are Silicon Valley fans. Fouls this one back to the screen. 1-1. I've had a fight using a lot of Silicon Valley stuff and none of that, some Brockmeyer quotes. Don't know if it's appropriate for our
broadcast,
viewers.
Yeah.
Bachman on the day is 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch and scored last inning. Was speed up runner did as he swings through that one, strike 3. And again for Skyridge, and I know I stress this a lot in that 3rd, 4th inning about getting momentum somewhere. And right now, not a lot of momentum to be grabbed anywhere, but except for your defense has been. I mean, you had 1 scoreless inning. You gave up 3 innings, gave up all the runs.
Yeah.
Back to top of the order we go, and Jacob Shaver. He fouls that one out of play. He's been just a little productive today. He is 2 for 4 with a triple and 2 runs scored on the afternoon.
Not a bad day.
And we're going through the spot where a lot of guys have done lots of things. The 0-1. Now make it 0-2. First time since the first inning, or pardon me, since the third inning, the Shavers seen 2 strikes. The 0-2, breaking ball bounced. Flew out to left last time he had, well, actually, both times he's been out today. It was a 1-2 count in the first inning, a 1-2 count in the third inning. Grounded out, flew out. And that one misses off the plate. Evens is up at 2-2. You're a stat guy, right?
Love him.
When you were playing and you just leave it, hey, at least I went 2 for 4 today.
Yeah.
And he bounces that one. The count now full. Especially in your 2 state championships. I mean, do you remember your numbers, your stats?
I don't. I remember, like I talked about earlier, I remember I pitched 3 games my senior year in the state championship, so I was 3-0 in the state championship. Well, in the tournament. But I don't remember the hitting stats.
You know, your senior year, you won a state You won a state championship. You won the Helper American Legion baseball tournament. And somehow, some way, you beat Helper twice in the state championship game of St. George when you should have been playing for Helper. That's quite the senior year.
I mean, I got recruited to go play with the St. George team. The assistant coach, Chad Shepard, was the assistant coach at Dixie State, which I was going to school that fall to play for, and so it just made more sense to go play with him. But that was a fun year. We had a great team. We were ranked nationally in the top 10, both my junior and senior year, and so it was a good 2-year run. But that senior year was awesome, playing, you know, with the friends that I've played with since I was really, really young, and then, you know, going to St. George and playing that American Legion team. And, man, another fun ball club. We hit a lot of home runs.
You fielding and that team, time on Maluna.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great time, especially for seniors. You know, this is kind of the last thing. Most schools are either done with school or having graduation soon.
Chopper Shepard to second. College has to hold up as Swap was flying up the line. And there's now 2 outs. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. But, you know, graduation, everyone's excited. School's out, and it's a great time to come watch games. And it was cool to be around my friends and my family, and you know, you don't have to worry about school. You're just worried about the last couple of days of the state tournament, and weather starting to turn good. I mean, it's just the baseball state tournament is such a fun time.
That brings up Noah Hennings as he's hit. He probably grazed his elbow there, and that is the Noah Hennings today, because that will be the last time most likely we'll see him up today, is 3 for 4 with 3 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. Really good day for the third baseman, not to mention a bunch of putouts and some really good plays. But truthfully, you should have been playing at Helper for some chubby 21-year-old named Dusty Litster in Helper, American Legion, the way the rules went. But either way.
I just didn't want to drive.
Just got a coach against you.
I didn't want to drive out to Helper. I mean, it's such a boring drive.
You bite your tongue,
I'd rather go live in St. George for the summer and go to the pool every day and get some sun instead of. I mean, what are you going to do in Helper?
Go to the pool.
I mean, what are you going to do?
It's right next to our ballpark. The best ballpark in the state of Utah, I might add.
Oh, please.
Wooden grandstands is one of the oldest ones from the Helper Merchants back in the coal mine days. Best place to play at night.
I remember playing there. I remember the sound of the ball hitting the glove as a catcher really echoed a lot. And I can't remember what team I was playing for. But when I went out there, I think it was with St. George. There was a lot of people in the stands.
We turn the lights on and people just come there.
Yeah.
They love it.
So it was a really cool atmosphere, and I think I got thrown out of that game. Or
did
Chad get thrown out of that game?
Chad got thrown out. There's a looper in the right field and handled well. Nice job arranging over and making the grab. The final out of the inning by Carter Smith. We head to the bottom of the 7th. The last 3 outs here in the 5A semifinals. Well, the day's over for Drew Jones. He goes 6 innings, and it brings in Cody Weiler. And Brody College, a switch hitter, now batting left-handed. Or pardon me, he was subbed for, as that's a chopper back to the pitcher. And 1 away. Now it was a pinch hitter for Jackson Kohler, and now it brings up Brody College. Pardon me. Numbers look pretty similar. It was Jordan Chapman that got out there, and this College swings and misses on the first pitch. And this one's back through the box. And a single for College. Maybe some 1 for 3 on the afternoon.
Even if Skyridge doesn't come back to win this game, it would be good to get a little something going, get a couple runs, have some guys see some pitches. They obviously weren't seeing it very well today. I mean, they have 6 hits. They didn't get those clutch hits with the 2-out RBIs we were talking about, but it would be great to gain a little momentum going into the next game if they do end up losing.
That one's outside here for Nate Upham. And Upham today has been very, very good. He's 2 for 2 with a triple and a single, and also walked last inning. Or probably walked back in the 5th inning. And he singles here through the right side. That's going to move College from first to third. Hughes fires this one back in, and that is a 1-out single for Nate Upham. 3 for 4 on a very tough day for Skyridge. One bright spot right there. That brings up Clayton Driggs. Been a tough afternoon. He flew out to right, hit a shot to third with bases loaded that was handled well by Hennings. And then in the 5th inning, he hit the controversial fielder's choice, and he was out on interference. And that fastball is off the plate. And again, just that momentum opportunity here.
Yep. Let's get a couple runs on the board. Gain momentum maybe for this game, to finish off this game. And then
and there's some momentum going back to left field and off the wall. That'll bring in College. Here comes Upham. Shaver going to make a play at the plate. The throw is tall, and it is a 2-run double. Extended to third goes Driggs, and there's some momentum, make you feel good. Papa Driggs has got to be happy with that one.
Well, and I tell people all the time, the best thing about baseball is that there's not a time clock, right? You have to get all the outs, and you can't get by it. You can't stall. I can't stand to go to high school basketball games anymore because you get in late into the game and they just run the ball around the 3-point line. Well, baseball, you can't do that. You have to pitch. You have to get outs. You have to make people do something, and that's what the great thing about this is that even though they're down 10-3, they still have 2 outs left, and they can still come back and win it. You're never out of a ball game in baseball.
Coach Fife just come out to have a conversation, look down the line, doesn't see anybody warming up, so just going to come out and have a quick talk, like, hey, let's not get crazy here. Still got to get ahead. And
yeah, this is a conversation saying who cares about the runner at third base? The most important thing is just to get out. So focus on the hitter. Throw from the windup. Don't worry about the runner on third base, and let's just get out.
So the conversation over at the mound, and that brings up Jackson Peck, the second baseman, with Clayton Driggs standing at third. And I was hearing some hollering, trying to see what was going on there. 1-0.
Jordan fans are complaining about the pitch call. Thought it should have been a strike.
Fouled it off down the third baseline. The 1-1. Swings on the breaking ball, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes, and Peck now have to get defensive. bounces that one. And the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he misses that one as well. Count now runs full. And Shaver coming over to calm him down. Just have a quick little chat.
A walk isn't the worst thing in the world here. I mean, Skyridge has rolled into 3 double plays. I mean, you can get out of it with 1 pitch and get a ground ball and win the ball game.
And that ball's off. No, called strike 3. Jackson Peck goes down looking, 2 away. So we had a lot of changes now, these strikeouts. He's saying it, good, and then he makes the move.
Yeah, and it's hard to hear from all the way up here if he's calling them out. Kind of a slow strike 3 call.
And that brings up Jay Shepard. Shepard singled and scored in the 4th inning. And he walked last time up. A 1-0. And it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 wide of the plate, and now 3 balls, no strikes as Colby Peck is on deck. And that is in there for a called strike 1. Speed up runner on at 3rd base after that. We came on for Driggs. And then big swing and a miss there by Shepard. Count now full. Last out, last strike for Skyridge. We'll have to, most likely, will turn around and play Olympus. And I'll have that right here. Myself and Dane Stewart. The payoff pitch. Grounded to short. Shaver over to first, and Jordan heading to the state championship game on Friday with a 10-3 win over Skyridge. Alex, your thoughts of this game?
Well, I mean, from the get-go, we said that the pitchers for Skyridge are going to have a really hard day today, especially the hitters 1 through 4. But it showed up even, 5 through 9. They hit it well, and it was close at first, and that that 3rd inning ended up being the one that really got to him.
And because of that 3rd inning, I think we'll go this way. Our University Federal Credit Union player of the game going to go to Connor Hughes. He opened this thing up, the 3-run bomb that got things moving for Jordan. Played really well. Could have easily gone with the pitcher, Drew Jones, who did an outstanding job today too, but the sticks are what got it done for the Beat Diggers. Again, the final score, Jordan 10, Skyridge 3. Jordan moving on to the 5A championship game, undefeated. And then the game will come up at 2 p.m. right here, Skyridge versus Olympus. And Skyridge fighting to get back to the championship game. Again, our score, Jordan 10, Skyridge 3. For Alex Wolf, Thompson Coles, and Ryan Rasmussen, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the 5A baseball tournament on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.